Hi everybody, it's Courtney. I know it's been a while since I did a video on anything. Eventually I will have a copy of my new book, the third book in my Heart Song novel series that I am releasing. I wrote them a long time ago, and of course I always have had inspiration in all of my writing in various fields, mostly romance, and of course I write a little bit of horror and stuff, but I always find inspiration in, you know, TV shows that I watch, movies that I watch, books that I've read, music that I listen to, and when it comes to music, a lot of people know that I am a fan of the band Heart. I have on, of course, the shirt right here. I've got many shirts. So, well, the reason I'm making a video today is I've been going through my VHS tapes, trying to find episodes of the anime Sailor Moon that I recorded on a VHS tape since they're redubbing the entire series. And the other day I landed on a tape where I recorded the episode of Behind the Music featuring Heart. And it got me thinking about a lot of things and, making me feel a lot of emotions because, well, as I said, I am a fan of the band Heart. I have been for a very long time. I was born in 1983. I'm, in my late 30s. So I guess I always tell people, like, probably since I was like 2, maybe be closer to like 3 years old, because I got into Heart when they were around their second incarnation in the 80s. So my mom and my sister are Heart fans. So I kind of like commandeered my mom's tape and like took over my sister's poster, and so it's been a part of my life for a really long time, and now I'm 35, and a lot of things they change in your life, and I've had a lot of changes happen to me personally, and everybody has stuff that they go through, and the people in your life, it makes life important, and so it got me thinking about a lot of things, and I kind of expressed it in a Facebook post about the kind of things that it was making me feel, because the episode that I recorded was like in 1999. So yeah, 1999, that was a long time ago, far, far away. And watching it since it's from 1999, so that makes it like 19 years old. A lot of things, a lot of things in it changed. Relationships, and people that they interviewed for it are no longer here. So it kind of got me thinking. So this video is gonna get a little personal, maybe a little heavy, but so it just it made me feel things, and if anybody watches this video here on YouTube, and everybody knows kind of the way things are going right now for Heart. At the moment it's kind of on a hiatus a little bit, and you never know if it's going to be a permanent thing. And for me, I'm a person, I don't really deal with change very well. I will eventually adapt to change. I mean, I had to change a lot, moving from Kentucky to Indiana, where I now live with my husband, who when I moved up here at the time was just my boyfriend. And I had to move away and leave my family behind, and friends, and come up to a whole different place. So change isn't easy, but things that stay the same for me, of course, is my love of you know the band Heart. Um, so like I said, I was about 3 years old when the self-titled Heart album came out, and so it really meant a lot to me. And when you're a young child, you know you get really focused on things. At least I did. So I've always enjoyed Heart, and it's kind of been almost like a security blanket. Um, they used to have a picture of the band in the cassette tape. Cassette tapes came before CDs. For anybody who's younger than this, I'd carry it around, like a security blanket, because it was my blanket. When I was like at school and I had to be away from my mom for the first time going to school, it was kind of a security blanket because it reminded me of being at home. And I know one time I took my Walkman. I'm really aging myself here when I took to school with the Heart tape in it, and some girl stole it out of my backpack, and it really upset me. And I eventually got it back, but I eventually lost the picture that went with it, and I cried when I lost it. So my mom had to go and buy another tape for me to get the picture back. So that shows you how much I love Heart. And of course, like I said, the second incarnation, when it was Mark Andes and Denny Carmassi in the lineup, that's what I grew up with. I was kind of in my little Heart bubble for a long time, that I didn't know that there was anything before that lineup, and eventually I did, and I got to learn about the original lineup with Roger Fisher and Michael DeRosier and Steve Lawson, and all the incarnations that came afterwards, around like the late 90s and early 2000s. And no matter how much it changes, I still love Heart, because there are fans out there, they like certain lineups and certain albums and certain songs, and I'm open to all of it. I like what I like, and my opinions may be different from other people's, but it's me, it's what I like. So I guess for a while I always tried to find ways to get other people to like Heart, and I eventually got my friend Amy into liking Heart as much as I did, and it was really nice and fun to have somebody to actually talk to about Heart, and songs and albums and everything. And Amy was 1 month younger than I was, so I kind of felt like having like a little sister, and the things that I knew, and then things that I learned from other Heart fans, Heartmongers, who were older than me, more seasoned, got to go to more concerts and, learn other things and see other things and actually get to like go backstage and, actually meet members of the band. And, it's just, to me, it's the best thing in the world to be a part of this extended family. And so, and I went through a lot of rough times, as most teenagers and young kids do. It's going to happen no matter what. You're going to be bullied and you're going to be teased. And sometimes, for me, I guess it'd be like the way that I looked. And sometimes, I was really shy, so I guess some people thought when I wouldn't talk to you that I was, being rude or being, a bitch. I do kind of have this resting bitch face sometimes, so, because I'd always have some people asking me if I was, like, upset or angry and be like, no, I'm not, but it's just the way my face would portray that. And, so yeah, listening to Heart always made me feel better, and it would get me through really tough times. And the thing about it is, I didn't learn until I was about 16 that I had bipolar disorder, and or manic depressive, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much the same thing. But so I guess that really explains my personality. When I get really excited and stuff, and I talk really fast and ramble on like I do, and I get bouts in inspiration, and I can stay up, and I read or I watch something on TV, and I used to be able to write, and but so a lot of people would treat me like I was obsessed with Heart, so I guess I kind of am, but I don't think my obsession is at a very dark, unstable kind of level, because sometimes people get obsessed with things and people and take them to extremes and take them to bad places and just take it too far. And I never thought that. I mean, I did go to internal dark places, and that's kind of what happens when you get teased and you get bullied and you get things from people telling you that you're just worthless, you're a waste of space, you shouldn't even be alive. And I'm not exaggerating. I'd get notes like that from girls that I went to school with, and I know they were girls, because that's just how it is when you're a girl. You're gonna have guys torment you, but most it's gonna come from girls. So when they would tell me things like I'm ugly, my parents should have just dropped me off on somebody else's doorstep. Just hurtful and sad things. So I know, like, when I was 13 at one time, I kind of got myself into trouble, where my friends didn't want anything to do with me, and I had nobody to talk to. But I had my parents, and I had Heart. Like, the two things I had, and it's the two things that I had that probably kept me from killing myself. I always talk about it a lot, sometimes now, because I'm bipolar, I'm manic depressive. I wear, no pun intended, my heart on my sleeve. when I'm emotional, you can tell that I'm emotional, whether it's good emotions or bad emotions. Because one day I wanted to come home from middle school and kill myself. I stopped though. I stopped mostly because of 3 reasons: my mom and my dad and Heart. Because of course I would hurt my mom and dad, but I'd feel like I was betraying something that I really loved. And no nobody should ever make you feel small and make you feel that bad that you want to get rid of yourself. I didn't go through with it. I'm probably like a I'll talk, no action person. Maybe it's also a way to get attention. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, being an only child of my mother and my father. But if you're going to love something as much, as you love your parents, then maybe you need to love yourself a little bit too. So, of course, that kind of stopped me because, I didn't have friends, but I felt like I did. You know, I don't know any past or present member of Heart personally, but I talked to, uh, I've talked to them a couple of times. I've had meet and greets. I've, got to be face to face with Anna Nance Wilson at least twice. And of course, when you're in front of somebody that means, so much to you, and you have so much that you want to say, you can't get it all out. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, what would somebody think if they knew that you were going to let somebody else just totally tell you what to do or make you think a certain way? So I didn't. I'm still here, and it's partly because of me loving Heart so much. Like I said, when you're face to face with people that you idolize and your mind just goes completely blank, and whatever you were thinking you wanted to say, it goes out the window. It's not easy. So if you hear any little tiny noises in the background, that's my doggy Pippa making noise. So as long as she's staying out of trouble. Pippa, come here, baby. Come mama. So a little break. Come here, baby. Hi. Hi, Pippa. Hi. Honey, look. Can you look at the camera? Say hi, people. Can you say hi to the people? Hi, people. Hi, peoples. Yeah. I hear you. This is my baby, my Pippa Ann. So, she's not as mean as she sounds. You be a good girl. You be a good doggy. So, well, that helped. It helped lighten the mood a little bit because I told you it was gonna get a little heavy, but that, as I was saying, that it's kind of some of the things that it made me feel when I was watching the Heart Behind the Music. Because not everything can always be perfect, and I know there's always been some some things that went wrong between past members of the band, and life just, it's the way it goes. People Pippa, no. Come here. You know, people, they fall out with each other and, lose touch, and, things happen where things get said, things get done, and, you know, I, for one, know what it feels like to have things, be said to you and done to you, and kind of, Pippa, no. Lay down. So, I knew she was going to kind of act up a little bit, but go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Pippi, lay down. Be a good girl, lay down. Good girl. So, but, so I kind of have a little bit of trouble forgiving and forgetting things. It's easy to hold grudges and everything, and I know as you get older you're supposed to kind of grow, and but it's kind of also human, I think, to kind of not let stuff just be like water underneath the bridge, and I don't know, but sometimes it kind of makes me feel a little sad that everything can't be perfect, because the type of person I am and the things I've been through, I really wish things could be perfect, but sometimes they're not, and I kind of figured that out after my father passed away, and it was just me and my mom. So and of course, eventually, when middle school became high school, my friends and I, we talked things out, and we got to be friends again. But because of what happened, things were a little kind of rough around the edges in the beginning. But they smoothed out, and we were still friends and everything. And then high school was done, and graduated, and I went away to college almost about a year after I graduated, and I was away from my mom, and I was away from my friends, and but of course, Heart's always there, posters and pictures, and I can hang them up in my dorm and everything, and soon eventually my friends came to the same college as me, and then things changed again, more falling outs, and people like moving on, and far away, and things changing, but me and my friend Amy ended up getting closer, even though we ended up being farther away from each other. She moved away with her boyfriend at the time, and they were talking about getting married, and but she'd end up calling me on the phone, crying and telling me that she didn't think she was in a very good place in the relationship, and things were changing, and she was away from home now, and and she missed me, and she missed her family, but she was trying to make things work out. But so I ended up taking every single Heart CD and anything Heart related I had, and burning copies of it, and mailing them to her so that she could listen to them, and make her feel better, and she could think about me when she listened to them, and she really appreciated that, and I'm glad that I could make her smile and let her know that I still wanted her to be my friend, and like I said, she was like my little sister, and And so, but eventually, she ended up moving back home, and we ended up getting a job at the same place, and she ended up, getting another boyfriend and trying to move on. And then around that time, I met my boyfriend, who's now my husband, and I met him through the official Heart message board that I joined. And he liked Heart's earlier, like 70s kind of rock stuff, and I liked all like the 80s and 90s stuff. So yeah, he's more of the hard rock, classic rock part, and I'm everything, but I enjoy like more of the I don't know how you describe less rock sound, more kind of pop. I don't know. Probably more AOR, because my husband's not really into, stuff like I like Foreigner and I like Journey, and he's not into stuff like that. He's more into like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and stuff like that. But we both have a common ground in that we like Heart. And so I met him on there online. We ended up sending our pictures to each other and talking to each other, and that was about 2003, when I was kind of ending a relationship that I was in. And I started going out with him, and so my best friend was back home, and I was starting a new relationship, and it was a good time in my life. And like I said, it's good to have people around you to help you when things are at probably maybe their lowest point. And around December of 2004, my friend Amy's boyfriend at the time and a friend of ours were killed in a car accident. They were in the car with 2 other people, and only one of them survived. And it was really hard to go through that, because we both lost somebody that we cared about, and Amy lost somebody that she really loved and cared about. So to go to her house and have her put her head in my lap and cry, but then I'd tell her, like, put on some Heart and it'll make us feel better. And it made us feel a little bit better. It didn't make her stop crying, but it made us feel a little bit better. And that's what music does. And when you like something to the point of love so much, and like I said, to be able to share it with somebody else, it's amazing. I share it with Amy, and I could share it with Nathan, my then boyfriend, now husband, and it made things smooth out and made everything, like, probably not 100% better, but bearable. And but Amy eventually met somebody else and got married, and they ended up having to move around a lot. So she moved away again, and I think around the time when she got married, it's it's not that I didn't like who she was married to. I don't know, it felt a little fast, and then it felt like she was trying to she made other friends. I'm not saying that you can't have more than one best friend, but I don't know, it just felt a little weird. So we kind of got out of touch a little bit, but then reconciled again and got back together. So, and around the time when that happened, you know, they eventually settled back in Kentucky again after moving to Michigan for a while, and kind of reconnected and everything, and tried to kind of have separate lives but still be a part of each other's lives. So that's when we got really close again, and I go over to her house and we just sit there and we could watch movies and TV all day and listen to music and one second. Just hang out. And so if something ever came on VH1 Classic that was heart related, we would watch it. We'd watch the remastered behind the music, and anything else that was heart related that would come on. We'd watch it, and we could sit and talk about it, and everything was happy, and it was just a fun time being with her, and being with the music that we loved, and it certainly made me feel better because other things would get underneath my skin. I became unemployed at one time, was having trouble finding jobs that I found weren't working out very well for me, and they were stressing me out, and going over there would make me forget things and focus on happy things, things to make me happy. And eventually I had to move to Indiana to be with my boyfriend because he told me that, well, maybe now is the time we should start living together. Because when we started dating in 2004, when I moved up here, it was 2013. And we've been in a long distance relationship, just waiting for him to be settled with a house of his own and money and being able to take care of me after I got done with school loans and trying to get my money situation better. So, of course, I had to move away, and it was really hard to it was really hard to leave my family behind and my best friend. But my mom had already moved away to Georgia to be with my stepfather. So my dog keeps distracting me. But but I moved up here with Nathan, and from 2013 to 2016, every year we went to a Heart concert. And the last one we went to in 2016, I got us like the VIP package where we could go to a meet and greet, and we got to go backstage, and Nathan got to hold Nancy Wilson's guitar, and it was just something I wanted to share with him. I'd done it before with Amy, not like a VIP package, but I bought tickets to take her to two Heart shows. One was actually a Heart and Journey show where Journey came on first and then Heart came on last. So I done it with Amy, and I got to experience it with the man who is my husband. I think the first two that we went to together, we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and the last two that we went to, we were husband and wife. So but you know, it was something really enjoyable. And so I guess 2016 was the year when, you know, it all changed, because, you know, that summer was the last Heart concert that I'd gone to, and the last one that me and Nathan went to before lots of things happened. And but earlier that year, I lost my best friend Amy. I talked to her, I think, sometime after Valentine's Day, and that was, you know, that was really the last time I actually remember talking to her on the phone. And then she posted on Facebook that she was like in the hospital and she was sick, and they found out that it was cancer, and it was like around, it wasn't her ovaries, it was like still kind of like a reproductive kind of cancer. And then in March, the end of March, beginning of April, she was gone. And it was around almost like the beginning of April, so it was like a really bad cosmic April Fool's Day joke. But, you know, she was gone. Somebody who was like a little sister to me, and somebody that I got to bond with over Heart. She was gone, and she wasn't there anymore. And, you know, it really hurts. And, you know, when I was watching the Behind Music episode that I found on the tape, I tried to hold in everything that I was feeling, you know, watching the episode, and, you know, seeing people on it that, you know, aren't on Earth anymore, and then, you know, realizing somebody that was important to me wasn't here on this Earth anymore. And I think I decided to do this video wearing this shirt because, you know, it's an anchor, and Amy loved anchors. I guess because she was always like an anchor to people. So, and I guess in a way she was my anchor. Like I said, when I was younger, the three things that kept me from killing myself were my mom and my dad and Heart. And later in life, Amy became one of my anchors. Because whenever I felt like that again, she'd talk me out of it. And people knows that I'm crying a little bit, so. But it was really hard, you know, having somebody like that be gone. And you know, because it really got to me. And I think that's why I just wanted to make this video, because, you know, like I said, I kind of shared my feelings about watching it on Facebook, and, you know, it kind of got sidetracked about it, but, you know, I got a comment on it from Roger Fisher, who was the original guitarist in Heart's lineup, and, you know, it felt really nice to, you know, have him acknowledge it, because, you know, I kind of tagged him in it, and a couple of other members, and, you know, but So I guess the main point of making this, I'm surprised that I didn't really start bawling as much as I thought I would. I guess I was really good at trying to keep myself in check, but you know, I hope that eventually my husband and I can go to another heart show, and I hope eventually that things that things that aren't important and don't really matter get pushed away, and the things that matter, you know, help things to heal. I mean, and now she's gonna be all mean to me, but thank you, Pippa. And now she's gonna be all mean to me. But, the things that matter, you know, are your friends and your family, and things that matter to you, that are important to you, are not stupid. So, I mean, a lot of people used to tell me that I was stupid for liking things that I like, and you know, my husband joshes me about things that I like. But you know, if you love something, or you love someone, that's fine. And you know, like I said, I miss my friend Amy all the time, and and people always say that it's not good to dwell on things that you can't change and people that aren't here. And you know, I mean, you can miss them, but don't let it be like you're gonna mourn for them for the rest of your life. And I mean, you know, in the years, like I said, I've lost friends, I've lost my dad, I've lost other members of my family, and you know, they hit me really hard, and you know, eventually, you know, you can't change things that are going to happen. But I just kind of want to say to anybody who sees this, and any important people who see this, to know that the simplest thing that I can say is that I love you. I mean, you're the reason that one of the reasons that I'm still here. And without any, no matter how small or major a part you played, thank you. I love you. I'm here because of you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And I wouldn't have... Okay, I can't hold it in now. I wouldn't have the love of my life if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't have found somebody that I can share this passion with, like I can with my husband. And I wouldn't have been able to bond with my best friend. And I wouldn't be able to write my stories and my poems and anything if I didn't have you as an inspiration to help me realize that, you know, I can write books, and eventually, hopefully, when I have kids, I can pass on what I write in my books to them, and pass on the love that I have for Heart to them, and keep it ongoing, and hopefully it will never end, and that way it will never fade away. because, you know, people are gone and they can't come back, but you're going to see them one day. And, you know, I just want you to know that because of you, I'm still here, and hopefully I will always be here because I will have something to pass on to my children. And I couldn't think of anything better to pass on than the love of, you know, great music and, you know, stuff that saved my life and brought people into my life and helped keep people in my life for as long as that I could keep them there and share things with them like I did with Amy. I mean, like I said, I ramble and I get tongue-tied and I babble, but, you know, it's hard and kind of don't want to spring another leak like that. But like I said, it's hard, and it's not wrong to be human. So I really don't know what else I could say except repeating myself. I love you. Thank you so much for being there for me.